You're watching the Mr. Movie or listening to the Mr. Movies podcast, and we are not throwing away our shot because today we are
Oh,
talking about Hamilton on Disney Plus.
that's right. Hamilton, the smash hit Broadway musical extravaganza, has
Brought
hit
to us
this.
by Lin Manuel Miranda.
Oh my God, this is not a great intro.
Well, let's see. I have you hadn't seen Hamilton before, correct?
That is correct. I was
Okay.
not able to score those coveted tickets and go
Okay.
see a live production.
I was lucky enough where I got a deal on some tickets in Chicago, so I got really good
Mm.
seats for a very low price. So I was a happy boy that night. And
So this was very familiar to you. Like you've already
yes.
seen this.
Hmm.
Before we get into what we think, just right off the bat, how does this compare to seeing it live?
It does a lot better than I thought it would. I thought it was did a very good job. I
Hmm.
will say seeing it live, there's nothing quite like that. It's a lot cooler seeing it live, just because of the fact that the cool thing with Broadway is over time, like it's not cemented like filmed. Like over time they can change it and make it better. So I did
Yeah, for
notice there
sure.
was some stuff, especially with like the final number that I liked, or second to last number with the duel, that I liked a lot more
Mm.
seeing on stage than how it was. It was still cool seeing like the original version of it, but seeing how it's evolved was also, it was kind of neat to compare and contrast it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the amount of like fluidity that like live shows have because
Mm.
like you could totally fuck up on stage and you
Yeah.
just gotta like roll with it.
Did you see Jonathan Groff spitting? Let's talk about that because that's become a viral sensation.
That's become viral.
Yeah, that's a thing,
Okay, first
man.
of all, who's Jonathan Groff?
Jonathan Groff he plays King George. He also plays Kristoff in Frozen.
Oh, that's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, I liked him in this. It was
Yeah, he was good. He's great.
he was perfect for like the comedic part,
Mhm.
almost the relief.
So let's say what did you think of the music? Let's break it down. Because I'm a fan of the music. I've
Oh
been
yes, you are
we
Mr.
yeah.
Musical.
Hmm.
Um, well, going into it, I knew that this was the type of musical where there are no spoken words. Like
Hmm.
there's no breaks in between. There's no like scene by scene like music then dialogue. The
Yeah.
music, this is like all music 100%. And that's impressive. So right off the bat, kudos to the team for like
Hmm.
somehow pulling that off because that's hard. Um when it comes down to the actual songs itself, there were some hits and misses,
Okay.
in my
I'm curious. I
opinion, of
think it's
course.
all hits. You know me.
Um,
I think it's all hits.
I will say that Lin's style of songwriting is very unique and
Hmm.
it's very like impressive. But wow, does it get old?
You really thought
It
so?
for a 2 hour musical, yeah.
Two and a half.
Yeah, it
I
sure
liked it.
like
I never get bored with it. And I will say I'm not a fan of musical. Like I'll bring Les Mis. I'll drag that one in. I
uh
like Les Mis have some bops, but my issue with it is like I usually don't like musicals that are all music, no dialogue, because like the whole
right.
purpose of a musical is you're supposed to have dialogue, and then when the characters can no longer express what they want to say through the dialogue, it's kind of like in comic books, like the thought bubbles in comic
Okay,
books.
yeah.
That's kind of like the music of a musical. Like you can't say that stuff out loud without it being like it'd be cringy if you did that. But
Mhm.
because they sing it, there's more emotion to it. Um, and so you get their thoughts across. But Hamilton is the first musical where it's full music that I've seen where I really liked it.
Okay. So like what about that was effective for you? Like what did it do right where like maybe others couldn't have pulled it off?
So I think in its style of music, it's so like it does vary, and they're not afraid to slow it down because I feel like Les Mis is very like classical theater stuff where it's like
Mhm.
it's the same flow, so it kind of loses steam a little bit. But it
Yeah.
has its bops for sure. With like you hear those people sing, and then like the one where he's pulling the boat in the beginning, like I feel that, but like sometimes during the dialogue you just like zone out and you're just kind of like, you know.
See, for
But
me,
I never feel that way with Hamilton.
I had the same issue, but with
Okay.
Hamilton because it was so rapid fire that like I had to turn the subtitles on because sometimes like the way Lin rhymes, like he won't just rhyme like a line with a line. He'll throw in like 4 words and 2 lines that like rhyme,
Hmm.
which is impressive, but it's also like cool it, man. Like I can't
Yeah.
distinguish all those words if you're like throwing them at me all at once. Maybe that's because I'm slow or dim-witted, but like
What
just
did
for me, it was really impressive when I could read it, but when he was delivering it, it was like I felt like I was getting shot. Like
mhm.
Hamilton.
Like Hamilton, because he threw
Spoiler.
away his shot at the end.
He said he
Um,
wouldn't, but he did.
he said he wouldn't, but then he did it. He did it. Um, son of a gun. What did you think of the acting, and what did you think of the actors? Some of the actors playing multiple roles, because there's one I'm like, ooh, but
Well, let me start with the first part of that question, the acting. Um, Part of me is like, what acting? Because they were singing, and I know it's possible to act and sing.
mhm.
That's what a musical is. I'm not trying to like deny that, but a lot of the time, it's hard to like show because it's a lot of like the rule like show don't tell.
Yeah,
And for movies, you that's the most powerful when there's no dialogue, right? It's only expressions and
yeah,
actions that the characters are showing off. There's a lot of telling in musicals because
yeah. That's where
things have
the
to be
singing is basically the
right.
telling.
That's where the words come from. So for me, the acting is still acting, right? I'm not saying that like there's no acting, it's just singing.
Hmm.
But I felt as though if this were a movie, um, some of the scenes would have been better if they were just played as acting.
Okay, I
But
thought it was
that
good.
being said, very skilled performances from
Yeah, I thought
everyone.
everyone did good, especially I don't know her name. Oh my God, the both the sisters, both the main sisters.
Yeah.
I thought they both. I thought they
Angelica,
both.
Angelica, and Eliza.
Yeah, they both stood out. Not Peggy. No, Peggy did. The actress who played
Who?
Peggy did a good job.
No, she did great.
Um, she also played Mariah Reynolds too, which that's something this musical does that is interesting. Is that some of the actors play 2 roles, and I bought it for the most part. For the most part, it's fine. It's
Yeah.
interchangeable. The one time it did not work was when they had the one guy. And I can't think of his name or the character he played beforehand's name. There's a lot of characters in this.
Yeah.
There is, and sometimes that's a little. That's like my one gripe. It's too much, but I get it's
And
necessary.
if you zone out like me, you have no idea what's going on. No, I'm kidding. Go on.
Um, the one time it didn't work, and it's not because the guy's acting. I thought he did a good job acting like a little kid. The thing is that he looks like a 30-year-old man, and he's supposed to play a
Oh my
9-year-old.
God, that's
And
right.
to me, that's the one thing where I'm like, just hire a kid.
And part of it's like I know that Lin Manuel made that poor 20-year-old slash 9-year-old spit some bars. Like there's no
Yeah.
way a little kid could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe if you gave him like a couple of months to rehearse, but like
Yeah.
obviously they cast him as an adult for a reason. Also, he's recognizable in between acts, but also like come on.
Yeah.
Like if they okay, so when he first shows up, he's seated at the piano, right?
Yeah.
Keep him there.
Yeah. Don't show his face. That's what I
Because
thought
then
they
he
were gonna
doesn't
do.
stand up and he's like as tall as Lin Manuel. Like he has a
Mm-hmm.
beefy 9-year-old.
Yeah. But beefy.
Don't take that clip out of context.
um. Oh gosh, this video is gonna get flagged just because you
Probably
said that. Good job.
American flagged.
American flagged, keeping it
Thanks,
Hamiltonian.
Hamilton.
So what is there a standout number for you?
Yes, the last one.
The last one or the second to last one with the
Definitely
duel?
the last one.
The last one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the first time I saw it, the duel got me, and then the last one I cried like during
The
the last
duel
one.
is done very well.
I probably would have cried honestly watching it this time, but my family kept talking during it, so it kept on taking me out of it.
Kept
But
ruining the moment.
I know.
Yeah, I feel that. Um, for me, okay, this is interesting because I do want to talk about this because right after the movie finished, I remember I texted you like, "Wow, it was a great musical. It's a shame that Hamilton was the main character." Or something like that. And the reason I do that is because, well, it's tricky because it's called Hamilton. It's about
Mhm.
Hamilton. Like, obviously, he's gonna be the center role.
Yeah.
The issue is that the show was about how great he was. Um, but for me, that's not enough to like
Mhm.
someone or a character. From what I saw, it was like, oh, this guy is smart. He really likes cheating on his wife, and he enjoys getting into political fights.
I think we're gonna disagree on this point, but
That's
okay.
okay. For me, I was just like, God, can we can we get some new characters in here that aren't talking about Hamilton? Because there's, like you said, there's a lot of characters,
Mhm.
but oh God, they just I want to know how many times the name Hamilton is said in this whole thing because nobody can shut up about him. And for me,
I
when it's a
mhm.
character that I can't necessarily like get behind, my brain can't help but like want more from it.
Okay. I kind of like I see for me the part of his character I cling on to is kind of like and what gets me like attached is the ideology of like everyone around him has kind of died except him and he kind of like wonders why me and stuff and like he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't want to waste that opportunity. So I kind of like that even though, it kind of leads to him doing mean things, hurtful things for his family and stuff. I like that ideology of like not throwing away your shot.
Yeah,
Um, I liked it. And I forget what I was gonna say, but I liked it. I think for me, the standout and why it's called Hamilton, I think that also has a lot to do with his wife and kind of like I think that last number is it's most powerful because it's the continuation of how his story is going to continue to be told and stuff
yeah,
and
it's
how his
about
wife
how
kind of led a
like
hand into that.
who
And I
he
was talking to
affected.
this with my sister because when I saw the show, when she gasps at the end, that's how they close the show, the gasp. I thought that was her seeing her husband, and my sister was like, oh, I read this whole thing that it's her noticing like the stage crew people and realizing that the story is being told again through this medium. I think I don't kind of see it that way. I don't see it that way, but I think that's
That is
kind of
a
neat.
interesting perspective. That's
Yeah, I
definitely like
think
a fourth wall
even though
kind
I
of a.
don't buy it, but I think it is a very interesting perspective.
Yeah, for sure.
And let's not forget, without this musical, we would not have gotten Mary Poppins Returns, which is just a gem.
Well,
Watch it on Netflix.
God, are they paying you?
No,
Are you sponsored by Mary
no, I
Poppins?
promise I'm not.
Okay. Um,
But he also knocked it out of the park with the Moana music.
Moana was good. Okay. While we're on the topic, Lin Manuel Miranda.
Love the man.
Why?
He's just great. I just like his personality. Like if I watch interviews and stuff with him just talking, I like his ideology and like his creative process and stuff. I like the amount of thought he puts into stuff. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that he's in a way, I think he does relate to the character of Alexander Hamilton, the fact that he's looked what's around him, realizes that he has an opportunity to help the industry grow with in terms of like representation and stuff. And in a way, he's not thrown away his shot.
I could kill you. I don't want to hear that phrase ever again. Now, okay, but you bring up a good point because he wrote it and
Mm-hmm.
he's also starring in it.
Mm-hmm. Actually, was
Um,
just watching. Can I bring something up real quick?
absolutely, yeah.
Because before this, he wrote Into the Heights, and basically the way he explained why he did it, he was like, basically, I loved theater and stuff, but I knew I would never get cast in a lead because there's not a lot of shows with a Latino lead. He goes, so I just decided to write my own, basically, and that's
Okay.
basically like kind of the perspective he's coming in from. I kind of like that,
I do like that.
and he's
It's
definitely
the
left his
idea of
mark
like,
on the industry for
oh,
sure.
100%.
Mhm.
Like
He
the
also
way
wrote a
that
song
cast is
on
so
for
diverse.
the reboot of what's it called? The Donald Duck with Scrooge McDuck, DuckTales.
I can't speak to DuckTales. I don't know that much about it, but good for
Okay.
him. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
Scrooge McDuck is the lucky boy.
part of I was taken out of it in Hamilton a little bit because there was like one song in particular where they're like, he's so handsome, like he's so smart, like oh my god, like look at
Mm.
him, and then it cuts to Lin Manuel Miranda, and I was like, he wrote this. Like part of me was like, all right, ease up a little,
Mhm.
you know. So, but like you said, if it's for representation's sake, then like
Yeah. I mean,
he
that also
deserves
plays
it
into the
probably.
cockiness of the character because when he was young, he even said that's his whole
Yes.
thing. Like he's very full of himself.
And I will venture, I know you like him, but I will
Mhm.
venture that Lin Manuel's a little sure of himself, you know? He's kind
For
of
sure, for
cocky.
sure. But I mean, I feel like he's earned the right to be.
For a time, sure. um, you know, just all right, let's move on. The next, well, one big thing I wanted to talk about is that this little musical, this little
Mhm.
musical of ours, is receiving a lot of backlash.
Is it?
Yeah. Part of there's a few different things that people are like very, very mad about. Like this was trending on Twitter for like
Okay.
half a
I know
week
you're
after
big
it
with the
released.
Twitter.
All right,
No, I'm
we'll
just
talk
saying. No,
about
I
that
know you are.
later.
Like I watch your YouTube videos and I hear about these controversies on Twitter. I'm like, I did not know that even existed. They're
Well,
interesting. I
yeah,
like them.
I'm plugged in because
Subscribe to
I got no
Kunkin
life.
Dassner
Would
on
you shush?
YouTube.
No.
Kunkin Dassner.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure it's linked on our homepage, so check it out. He
stop
makes some
advertising
grade
me.
A
You're being too
content.
nice.
He wants to get that. He's gonna get that play button. He's gonna get it. It's gonna hang on his wall right next to his Emmy nominations because he's a sensation.
Stop being so kind to me. All right. Anyway, back to Hamilton. Um, God, what was I gonna? The controversy. Um, so a lot of people think that the founding fathers should not be celebrated in
Hmm.
such a light because it's like, yes, independence, kicking out the British, that's cool, that's good, but they don't like how it the founding fathers like there's a lot of sexism and
Yeah,
racism that was
it's
part
a
of the
product of the
culture at the
time.
time.
Not that it's
Absolutely.
right, but yeah.
And people don't like that in Hamilton, even though all the people are cast as, or all these like diverse people of color are
Hmm.
cast as these white post-British people. Like that in itself is quite a statement. But they did not like how slavery is addressed like twice very quickly,
Yeah.
and like maybe it could have done more to focus on that as an issue, and also that the female characters weren't treated with enough respect.
Hmm. I mean, that's definitely like I know in like real life he believed in like manumission and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
whereas I liked at the end of the musical they addressed that his wife spoke out against slavery because
Yeah,
that
that's
is
why
what
she's
people
my favorite
do.
character.
Yeah. Um,
I was like, wow, why
and
can't we get a musical about you?
there's stuff they're not going to mention because
Sometimes it's not relevant.
it's not relevant to the story. Not saying that it's not important or that we should ignore it, but it's
Oh,
not
of
relevant to
course.
the story. Um, like he thought he had some thoughts. That's all that he definitely
Yeah.
had some thoughts. He thought that like only like the elite should hold political power and there should be no term limits and stuff. And like,
Ooh.
yeah. So, we're just gonna.
Hmm.
That's what I like about the show in a way, though, is that it kind of encouraged me to do my own research in a way. Um,
Oh, I see.
you know, to get into that, and then you realize, okay, this dude made mistakes for sure. I
Uh-huh.
mean, we know from the show he wasn't faithful to his wife at
Oh no, he
all,
was not. Big plot point, actually.
and he didn't care. He cared more about his reputation and stuff, and he just released it without like telling her. And
Hmm.
yeah,
So yeah, I
but
mean,
the
we can
music's great.
definitely. Oh yeah. Oh, they sing real good. Um, so like, I guess I don't know if people would have been happier if the if the musical had addressed these, like even for like one scene, just be like,
Mhm.
hey Hamilton, where's your slaves, like just like, because I know in universe Hamilton's this great person, this great like shining beacon of American like independence and stuff, but
Yeah.
like it's hard to release that. I mean, this came out in 2016, I think. So even then, like the political climate has
I think
changed so much.
2015.
2015, wow.
I think.
Um,
Don't quote me.
let's say 4 to 5 years.
I'm gonna
The
Google it.
political climate has changed so much that it's kind of hard to release the same thing that like would have been accepted back then right now,
Mhm.
because like you do have to adapt to the times somewhat, even if you want to be
January
like,
20th, 2015.
oh wow,
Hammy
god, that's
boy.
old. um yeah, I don't know, it's controversial. People are saying, I don't know what people want. Like I don't know if they want it to be removed or if they want it to stop being celebrated. I don't know like what's the end goal
Yeah.
here. At the end of the day,
Here's
it's
some good advice. Here's some good advice. If you want to learn about history, don't get it from art. Open a book. Go to some non-biased sources. There are resources out there if you're interested in it. Don't go to Hamilton and think you've learned everything about American history. Don't use
yes.
that as a reference in a debate. That's just some,
And let
you
me tell
know.
you, people do that.
Yeah.
Um, as with everything, um, whenever something is very popular, there is a
Backlash.
response.
Yeah.
Some bad, some good, and then something in the middle that I like to call bad good. And
Bad.
it's the fans who take it a little too far.
Hey, I'm a
Um,
Star Wars fan. I know what you're talking about. By the way,
yeah.
Baby Yoda cereal is coming.
Sorry, Baby Yoda cereal?
Baby Yoda cereal is coming, and I will be buying it.
Like
All of it.
you eat him?
Like there's like
Like
cereal,
is
and
he
then the
like a Lucky
marshmallows are
Charm?
shaped like Baby Yoda.
Okay, so we have Baby Yoda Lucky Charms coming out.
Uh-huh.
Um,
By the
and I
way,
wouldn't call
Disney
that bad.
Disney owns. I saw this and on the internet, and I'm all for it. Disney's got that Marvel license. They've
Mhm.
shown us they're not afraid to put edgy musicals on their streaming service. Give us Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark. Give
Real
it to
quick, tell me what that is.
It's a musical about Spider-Man. I think it got canceled because when the Spider-Man was swinging, the web snapped and it landed on someone and killed him. I genuinely think that might have happened.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
just
bad.
bad.
It's bad.
Okay, Hamilton. How would you have made, okay, if you were in charge, if you wrote
Mm.
Hamilton, if your name was Lin Manuel Miranda, how would you change this?
Honestly, I don't want to answer that because it's something I haven't thought about. I feel like that's something I would want to put some thought into.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so I do not know.
I'll go. Give the female characters a little bit more time.
That's fair.
Give them scenes where they're not being cheated on.
Mhm.
What a concept. Um, just because. I mean, I'm not gonna act like, oh no, every man who watches Hamilton's gonna treat women this way. Like, obviously,
Mhm.
that's not what's gonna
Yeah.
happen. And like, yes, at the time, women were subjugated and not given like the same amount of treatment, but also like we don't gotta carry that into our musicals now. Like, I want better characters in my musicals all the time, and there were some characters in Hamilton that I thought were just like a little one dimensional,
Uh,
and I thought it would be interesting to explore new territory with that. So that's my own guilty pleasure opinion. Any final thoughts on Hamilton?
I love it. I think it's great. I'm probably gonna. You know what I love about this? I'm so happy it's on Disney Plus. Like I'm gonna put that on when I'm studying. Like it's so
Oh,
good.
yeah, that's true. It's very accessible now. Um, yeah, I liked it. It was good. As far as musicals go, I was entertained for most of it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
solid
That's Hamilton.
recommendation.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Don't forget to not throw away that shot of
Don't
yours.
throw away your shot.
I'm going to end it on that. It's going to be a really
Good.
powerful ending. Right when you say shot, I'm going to cut it. It's going to be really good. Am I still recording?